YouTube and everybody out there watching. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Records with my girl, Miss LadySoul, and the Big Yellow Rebel. We're back, y'all. I know it's been a while, but here we are. You know, we all got lives and we got to live them. So we finally was able to get together and do another show, episode 4. So thanks for watching.
All right.
So how's everybody doing?
Good. I'm good. I mean, it's been, I've been chilling a bit. I have a few days of vacation, so it's all good. Been spinning some records and some CDs, guys. Can you imagine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Playing some CDs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
CDs are back in the mix.
yeah, I guess so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold up just a minute. I gotta push a button on this stuff.
Oh, okay.
All right. What is he gonna show us?
There you go.
Oh no. What's up?
Because when you hit that button, it popped up cover my screen.
All right.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not tech savvy at all. But what are the conversations we're going to get into, because everybody seems to be talking about, is the whole MoFi-Gate. About people was actually finding out they were buying oversized CDs. I mean, what way can you put it? You know, all talking about analog this, analog that. The next thing you know, it was all done digitally and not from the original analog tapes. But they say, no, that's not true. We used the analog tape, basically made a CD. Then we pressed the records off that CD because we didn't want to destroy the tape. So, did they actually really use analog to make the CD and then press the record?
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair to say? Okay, we use analog, but we didn't want to mess up the original tape. So we put it on CD so we could make 50, 60, 80,000 records.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So what do y'all think about that?
It's definitely been a hot topic for like 2 weeks now, more than 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, every day.
Like we have hundreds and hundreds of videos in the vinyl community about that. But listen, man, it's I'm not an audiophile. But I feel
I'm not either.
I feel for the consumers who bought these especially when it comes to the one steps, because people are complaining mainly about the one steps records that are sold for like $100 to $125 each records. So that's why, and it all started. This whole story started, if I understand correctly, it started with the Thriller release, because they said that it would be like a 40 is it 40,000?
40,000.
40,000.
And some people in the vinyl community, like Michael Ludwig from 45 RPM audiophile, Michael from the In Groove, they were like wondering, but how are you guys, MoFi, how are you going to do this to get 40,000 copies? I mean, how many times are you gonna use the tapes for that? I mean, you can't without damaging the original tapes. And that's where all this thing started.
Yeah,
it started. So Mike from the In Groove, he went to speak with I think there were 3 sound engineers and whatnot to get some answers about all this. And that's when MoFi they told everybody that it was actually the one steps are actually there's a digital step
Yeah.
in the mastering and whatnot.
Yeah. Where everybody thought it was analog.
So I don't know, Funk, if this digital step, it's the equivalent of a CD. They say it's that it's a better sounding than a regular CD or even a super audio CD. But still, it's a digital step. I mean, come on. And
It is a digital step.
they've been misleading everybody with this for years, and I think I've heard since 2008, because I think since what was the record? The Santana record, Abraxas. It was a release of Abraxas, and they said
now wasn't that the record they paid $2,000 for?
Now, exactly now, because it's sold out, it's out of print, so people are like paying a crazy money for this release, thinking that it was all analog, which it wasn't.
Right.
I understand, and like I said, I'm not an audiophile, but I would feel some type of way if I would be spending $100 to $125 for these one step, thinking that they are all analog, because MoFi they made people believe for years that these records were all analog, even though maybe it wasn't printed that it was actually all analog, but they made people believe that it was. Come on, even with all their innards, with all the steps that they were showing. They never showed the digital step. They never mentioned it. So come on, come on. It's
right. They are now.
So what you saying, E? They should have showed a picture of them, the master tape.
Yes.
A CD, then the record.
I mean, they call it DXD or DSD. I'm not sure, but they should have put that. Right. Of course, they should have put that. But they were surfing in that, that audiophile, image of, analog. It's the best thing. So they're not stupid. I mean, they've been following the vinyl community for years, and they saw how people out the audiophile channels were talking about, oh, this is digital, this is not good, oh, this is all analog, this is the best thing to get. So they're not stupid. Of course, they see that, and they use that. So
what I'm hearing from you is the people that bought records, they set themselves up for what Mo Fidelity did.
Exactly. I mean,
good point there.
It's not about the sound, because everybody says that these records sounds very, very good. It's not about the sound. I really think that MoFi, the product, when it comes to sounding, it's very good. It's just about the fact that you misled people. Come on now, you were dishonest. Come on, because you made people believe that, especially when it comes to the one steps, you charged people with these ridiculous prices because you made them believe that they were all analog. So come on, this is not right. In my opinion, this is not right, man. This is not right. I mean, they should. Okay. What they should do now is lower their prices if they want to sell the one steps. They definitely have to lower their prices, because I don't think that people will keep buying these records at $125, because this is ridiculous, in my opinion. This is ridiculous. Doesn't matter how good they sound, it's too expensive it's too expensive. No, come on.
So, yeah. What do you think, Miss Rebel?
You know what? Every day my inbox or my YouTube alerts, it's been saturated with the MoFi, dilemma. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired of. I'm like, it is something to be concerned about. I mean, I have some MoFi collections in my records in my collection. Again, I'm not an audiophile by any means, so I'm happy with the ones I have. I always thought they sounded great. Again, like Eve was saying, it's not a sound issue. I don't believe it is. It's just that lack of transparency that people are so pissed about. Like, we thought it was, all analog and everything. So, I mean, I've seen people asking for refunds and stuff that they bought, like 10 years ago. That's not going to happen. So, but I think that this is, we've turned a corner where now, either they're going to have to lower prices or do something, because now it's like they've had this impeccable reputation. And so now it's kind of at stake now. So I'm looking right now at the post that they put on Instagram. So they're being all apologetic. They're saying, we're sorry for the anger and confusion. So they're putting all this information out there now. And of course, it's not a balm for anything, because people are like, well, you should have done that before. Why didn't you?
Yeah, but like 2 weeks after the episode thing, I mean, that's a bit late though. That's a bit.
Right, it is late, and look, my earring's falling off. Look at it. But I definitely don't have any one-step recordings, and I've never paid, for a one-step. So, a matter of fact, I think Thriller is the first one that's really come into my consciousness, because there's all the talk about it. So I'm like, I really had to, when Thriller, the release was announced for later this year, I had to like really read up on the one-step process. I'm like, I don't have anything with that shit on, So, but I'm looking at the price. I'm like, would I pay $125 for something like that? I don't know. I said, I do need to upgrade a copy of Thriller. I was talking about this with Eve before we went on camera. I do need to upgrade my copy of Thriller. Should I chance getting the one step? Is it worth it? So, but
no, don't do it. Don't do it.
I know, right?
And I'm going to tell you why.
Right.
I'm going to tell you why don't do it.
And it was just out of curiosity.
I see Thriller all day long, original copies, mint condition, for like $12.99.
Right. And you don't think that
knows I just bought one, mint condition. I played that thing and it sounds superior. Original copy. Now, for me to say digital, analog, you got to put a starting point on this whole digital analog thing. And when CDs really got introduced to us, it was like 1986. When CDs came out, and it was really expensive. Remember when he first came out? He was like, what, $30, $40 when he came out, just like Laserdisc. That digital stuff was always high when it first came out.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to think, Thriller came out in 82.
Right.
You got an original copy of that. Can you honestly say that original copy in 82 is analog or digital? Versus if you buy it now, since we know about this whole one-step thing, you're buying a possibility of a digital copy of Thriller, getting a one-step for $125. But if you find an original 1982 version of Thriller,
it'll be analog for sure.
Is it more safe to say that's a possibility of being analog?
Of course it was.
Yeah.
In the 80s, it was most probably analog. Yeah.
Yeah, most were.
Most probably. 82, most probably, definitely.
Right.
Definitely.
So I totally see what you're saying. It's just that all this talk, it has kind of got me curious now. So it's, like I said, by the time November rolls around, that album may not be $125 anymore, you know.
Yeah. I really hope so for all the the MoFi consumers. I really hope so, because I cannot see people buying the one step at $100 and $125. I mean,
again, there's those
with everything we know now. Come on.
But again, there's those high-end collectors who will probably do it.
Even now, even after all this.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, let me ask both of y'all this question. I'm going to start with you, E.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, before this whole thing came out and you were buying records, when you went to your record store to buy a record you like by one of your favorite artists, did you think, I wonder if this is analog or digital? Or did you just buy the record?
Like I said, I'm not an audiophile. It's not really important to me to know if it's all analog or if it's digital. If I like the artist, I'm gonna buy his records. That's normal. I mean, depending on the era. I mean, if it's an artist that's been releasing albums in the 70s or in the 80s. Of course, it's most probably going to be all analog, because back then they were not the digital process wasn't even a thing back then. But no, I'm not the type of I'm not an audiophile, so it's not that important to me. Yes, I want a good sounding record, but it's not that important to me to know it has to be all analog. It has to be AAA. You know what I mean? It's not that important. I don't even have the audio setup, to play these audiophile records. So it's not that important to me. It's not.
I was just gonna say the same thing. I mean, I'm satisfied with the original master recordings. I don't even know if the setup I have would be good enough for a one-step recording. Exactly. The ultra, what is it called? The ultra disc. Yeah. Ultra disc one step. Ultra disc ones. I don't even know if my setup would be sufficient for that. So it's like when you're an audiophile, it's like you're constantly upgrading your equipment, for these formats coming out. So it's just, I know I'm not doing that. So.
And then again, sis, I don't want to cut you off, but then again, they got fooled. And that's what I found very funny in this whole, MoFi story. All these audiophile channels, YouTube channels, for years, they've been praising the MoFi records.
Right.
Oh, analog, the sound is amazing.
Right.
It was digital. So they got fooled. They got played. So this made me laugh, honestly. So
yeah,
even with your $2,000, needle and your $10,000 or $20,000 audio setup, you couldn't even make the difference.
Right. It makes no difference. Right? That's probably what they're most upset about.
So hard. It was, really?
So what you're saying, these people who act like you got the superior ear really doesn't have the superior ear.
Hey, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. It's
yeah. Because you look at it. If your ear was so superior, you should have known.
I mean, if your audio setup is so superior, you should have known. You should have seen this doesn't, this thing doesn't add up. How come the sound is up? But no, some of them been very condescending, saying that, oh, you guys are buying no digital albums, doesn't worth shit and whatnot. Well, you've been buying records for years. You've been buying MoFi for years, and they are digital as well. So who's the fool? Who's the
fool?
Okay. So basically, this came to light because of the number of thrillers they were about to press.
Exactly.
Now, when he was keeping the numbers low, like 2,500 of this, 3,500,
exactly,
and that's it. everybody kind of said, yeah, because, you know, they don't want to mess up the tape. So that's a low number. But when he came out with 40,000, that's when the light bulbs went off in everybody's
head. Bing. It all started with Thriller. So if there wasn't no Michael Jackson Thriller one-step release, MoFi would have not said anything. So that's it, man. That's it. Yeah. People was trying to wondering, but how are they going to do this with 40,000 copies? How are they going to run the original tape like this many times? Like 40 times? Because I think they are running the original tape. I think it's 100 or 1,000 times for each. I don't know exactly how it works, but it was at least, you know, they would be running at least 40 times, which is, come on, it's too much.
For that lacquer he made?
Yeah, or the original tape.
The stamper?
Yeah. I think so. I'm not really technical with this, but
like 1,000 per stamp, what you saying?
I think so.
Okay, stop right there. Cause it's fun. You said this because you segue onto something, and I was prepared. I didn't know you was going to go there, E, but I was prepared with something. So both y'all hold tight.
All right. Because I think I heard that. You know, I'm not really
right here.
Okay.
It's right here. Okay. This album right here is a funk album by a group called, I always get this name, it's Rasput Stash. Okay? Now, on this hype stick, I'm going to read. Because it goes back to what you said, Eve, about that number. Okay. On this hype sticker says, this 1976 session cut to vinyl from recent found master tapes. That's what it says. He said from the master tapes, they cut it to this vinyl. Now, going back to what you said, Eve, about that number. You only made 1,000 copies of this.
Here we go.
And this is number 795.
Yeah, that means that they're probably going to use the original tape once.
Yes.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah, that's
1,000 copies.
Yeah.
Because it's a low enough number.
Yeah. But with 40,000?
Yeah.
No way Sony would have approved that. No way.
Exactly. And by the way, this is a great funk album too.
What's it called? Rasputin Stash?
Stash, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like you said, only 1,000. And like I said, this is 795. Okay. So I'm kind of with you on that one.
So yeah, people were wondering how MoFi is going to be able to do that, to use the original tapes that often, to get 40,000 copies.
40,000 pressings. Yeah.
Michael Ludwig from 45 RPM Audiophile was, he did a video I think he was the first one that posted a video about this, saying, but how are they going to do this? How MoFi is going to be able to do this if it's all analog? Then something's wrong. Then there must be, a digital step in it to be able to do that many copies. And that's why then afterwards, Michael from the In Groove did a video saying that MoFi is probably using a digital step in their mastering chain and blah 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 and so on and so forth. But yeah, I mean, hey.
Yeah. Hey. Okay. Now, and see, like I said, they said that they cut this direct to vinyl from the original found master tape. Now, this other record I have, it doesn't mention anything about cutting it from the master tape, but Sweet Inspiration, okay? This was a Record Store Day release in 2020 from the UK. Now, this too is only 1,000 copies. even though it doesn't say where it was cut from, digital or analog, but it's 1,000 copies, hand numbered, and this is 862. So you kind of think 1,000 copies. This is number 862. So you would think maybe it's cut from the original tapes. That's why they only did 1,000. So then you have to say the source of it because they just put it out. Do you feel comfortable thinking like this might be digital? If you're thinking like that, or analog?
It could.
But this record sounds fantastic.
It could
be. Because sometimes, they'll only, issue a low number, like 1,000 pressing, especially like for like a niche market.
Yeah, exactly.
So it may not have anything to do with like audio. Like, is it digital? Is it audio? Is it, are they going straight from the original master tapes? It may not be that. It could just be maybe they just want to do it for a record store day or a special niche market, or maybe they only want to press of 1,000 of one color. There's so many different variables when it comes to pressings like that. So yeah, in this case, we don't know if that's came from the original master tapes, but a lot of times for niche markets or special
record store day, or
they might just do a low number like that.
But
so that's why we really shouldn't stress ourselves out about if it's digital or analog, right?
But every label now with all this, they should be all transparent and labeling their stuff, so people can actually know and see very quickly. Is it analog? Is it digital? I mean, the labels should definitely be more transparent when it comes to the sounding, when it comes to the source and whatnot. With all this now, I mean, come on. It's a must. It's a must now. Come on.
I think you're right. I think from this point forward, they're definitely gonna have to. They're gonna change up. I think they might have already mentioned this. They're gonna change up their packaging. All the sheets where they previously showed the steps they were taking in that mastering process. Those are going to have to change. I believe they're already taking steps. Like the president, he's apologizing and saying from this point on forward, we'll be more conscious of, detailing everything now. So, like I said, we've turned a corner. So, I don't know if that's going to result in lower prices for anything, but I think now with their reputation at stake, they'll at least with printed matter that's included with these releases, they'll be more detailed and forthcoming. So, at least we'll have that.
But I tell you what. The customers right now, whether they know it or not, which I think by reading a lot of comments that people are saying, they don't know they got the power right now. Because when they release that next big record, let's say the Thriller, and people don't buy it, say the customers say, you know what? Y'all played us. We're going to show you. And don't buy it. That would do one thing. It would lower the price. It would lower the price. So that way, everything we say, the steps we took, this is what you're buying. Now, you also made them lower the price on what you're buying because of the LadySoul. But if you don't make them pay, you just run out there and buy that for the price they're asking, even when you know the steps now, then it's on you.
Yeah. And
it's on you.
A lot of people.
And nobody should ever complain that buys these one steps ever again.
Exactly.
Because you got the power to say, okay, you bumped my head once, I ain't gonna let you bump it again. So, hey, lower the price, or guess what? You're gonna be sitting on 40,000 thrillers.
Yeah. Yeah. And
but I guess we'll see if these people got the power and going to use it to let Mo Fidelity know you played us, but we're going to play you right back. And we're going to come into a situation where, hey, we both going to be at a happy medium. You lower the price, we will still buy it. So you still sell it, we still buy it, and we both happy.
Yeah, I think that'd be a wise choice on their part if they did that.
I've seen a lot of comments of people who said that they were about to cancel their pre-orders and whatnot of the one steps, and people are very upset about this. And I mean, I get them. I get them totally. I mean, they were dishonest. They were very dishonest. I mean, maybe they did not lie, but they,
right.
They hide the truth. They hide really what they were doing. And it's not right, man. People are spending a lot of money. It's not right. It's not right.
Right. I hear what you're saying. They didn't exactly lie. They just didn't share everything. Right.
Exactly.
Like, you didn't tell us there was a digital step. You didn't ask us.
Exactly. Because they knew if people saw that digital, step, they would be, but why are we charging $125 for that?
Right.
There's a digital step. It's not all analog.
Right.
But see,
doesn't matter how good they sound. You know what I mean? It's just
But most people think anyway. If you got a record, it's analog. If you got a CD, it's digital. Nobody really thinks of the process. These like CD, compact disc, digital, album, record, analog. Nobody thinks of how it was mastered. You just look at it like, I got a record, I got to put it on my turntable, I got to put my stylus on it, I'm playing analog music. I grab my little CD, put it in my CD player, I'm playing and listening to digital. I grab my cassette tape, Janet. Well, anyway, I grab my cassette tape with Janet, put it in my cassette deck, analog. And that's just how people look at stuff.
Well,
that's just it. Your MP3, digital. So I guess you don't think of how it was produced and made, even though it's on the format of vinyl and they use a digital step. You automatically just thought it's analog because it's a vinyl record versus if it was CD.
Yeah, us regular people, music enthusiasts who are not audiophiles. But audiophile people, they do think about this. That's the thing. That's the thing.
Right.
Yeah, I don't care.
We're going to end this real quick.
Yeah.
But here, I'm going to start with you, Mikey. How many audiophile records do you have in your collection?
Oh, the MoFi, like the original master recordings. I don't have that many. I would say 10, 12,
10,
maybe
12.
I mean, I got one right here that I was playing with my turntable today. So here's one.
Okay, Kim Carnes.
Kim Carnes, Mistaken Identity. Sounds great. Oh, it's great. Love it. Yeah. And I only picked these up, like I've never, maybe with the exception of one time on eBay, but normally I never pay through the nose for these things. I like, oh, it's a good price. Well, this seller's got to, I'm going to, pick it up. I don't like go out of my way trying to track these down. I usually, look for it, and if it's the price, then I'll pick it up. That's probably why I don't have so many. But No, I'm satisfied with the ones I have. Like I said, I feel sorry for the audiophiles who have paid out the nose for these things because, they're the ones obviously that are the most upset. And reading the comments on the whole dilemma, it seems like the ones who are a little bit more forgiving are like the more casual listeners. All right, so yeah, they still sound good. I've got some. Okay, so they didn't mention it. All right, yeah, whatever. But yeah, those who invested more money in this side of collecting, and specifically these type of releases, yeah, they're furious. So, but I don't have that many. I would like to have more, but like I said, I'm not a huge audiophile. I pick them up as I go along. They're good priced. Yeah, I'll add it. No big deal.
Okay. E, same question.
I only have one MoFi, and it's this one because it's the Billy Joel Innocent Man.
Yes.
I'm not even sure if it's an all analog. I don't know.
So not now. You're not sure.
I think I paid maybe $20 or $25 for it. It was very cheap. So I was looking for that album on vinyl. I said, why not pick up this one? But I'm not an OG. I have other albums from other audiophile labels like Speakers Corner, or these these audiophile labels. But it's because I was looking for a particular artist, a particular album. It was the price wasn't ridiculous, and I said, why not pick up this one?
Yeah,
right.
But I'm not gonna be spending like $100. I can't. Personally, I can afford that for a record. I just can't. Right. So especially now that people are realizing that it's not what they thought it was. No, come on.
Yeah, definitely not.
But
I too only have one, and it's this one right here, Sorcerer, Miles Davis.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. It's the 45 RPM, and I only paid $25 for this.
That's it.
Not bad.
And I tell you why it cost me only $25. I was flipping through just the average record band, and it was there. Had a sticker on it, $25. So I was like, whoa. But when I got it to the counter, I told the guy, I said, $25 for this. This is amazing. And you know what he said to me? He said, yeah, the people that collect these records, they're so uppity that I knew I couldn't sell it for the price I wanted to sell it because it has a split right here.
Oh, yeah.
So he marked it down $25. I grabbed it like I stole it. Bought it and brought it home. Do I care about that split? No. But the records are meant. I mean, you can't even see the split unless I point it out.
Yeah.
But he knew he couldn't sell it because of that little split up there. But it's the only one I had.
Wow.
All because of a little split, it came home with me. Like a little lost puppy.
So you won, really.
Of course.
Exactly.
All the better for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've seen that. There was a website I used to shop on where actually I got a few of the original master recordings from. They're no longer around. What's it called? Soundstage Direct. And they would. Do you remember them?
Yes.
They used to sell some of those discounted. Like they would sell ones that had like blemishes or a split seam or things like that. And that's how I picked up a few.
Corner.
Yeah. So that's how I was able to get a few because they couldn't sell them for full price that way. So, but so same thing. Like somebody else doesn't want it. Somebody who will. So
Yeah.
But some people don't care about that. I'm like, look, as long as it's in overall good shape, it sounds great.
Yeah. I mean, final's perfect. I mean, like it never been played. All because it had that little seam split up there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
awesome. That's beautiful. Who's the artist on that one?
It's Miles Davis, the sorcerer.
Oh, so also, yes. Yeah. Awesome. Beautiful.
Yeah. And that beautiful woman is Cicely Tyson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cicely Tyson. Yeah. That was my girl. Late Cicely Tyson. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
this was quite.
I guess they're gonna have to be more transparent. They don't have. Yeah, they have to be more transparent. I mean, transparency is the key. They have no choice. Yep. Come on.
Well, they've learned their lesson.
Well, I look at it like this. If you've been collecting records, let's just say more than 20 years, and chances are older people, 40, 50, 60 years old, chances are pretty much the majority of this stuff is probably analog.
Mm.
You know, especially if you collected the old classic rock stuff and soul stuff and everything. Pretty much of that stuff is analog.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this whole thing about the digital now on vinyl records is really more towards, I guess, the new people coming in collecting vinyl now.
But that's the thing, not really. When it comes to these MoFi releases, that's what I'm having a hard time, understanding that, because I think that the consumers, the MoFi consumers, they're not new collectors. Most of them are these 40, 50, 60-year-old.
I see what you're saying, but I'm just saying you shouldn't be that upset, because I guarantee you, we got more analog in the collection than digital.
That's what I don't understand. Why are you buying these reissues? Because they made people believe that the sounding of these reissues are better than the original ones, which this is blowing my mind. I don't understand it. Because they make people believe that, yes, I mean, it's better to get the original at $30. Why buying a reissue at $125 for a Van Halen reissue? Really? You to tell me you cannot find an original pressing of a Van Halen album for like $30 or $35?
Yeah.
You tell me that the original pressing, it's worse than these reissues? I don't understand it. I don't.
I tell you this, before that One Step announcement came out about the Van Halen, they already got reissues.
Yes.
And it had a height sticker on it saying from the master tapes.
I don't know.
Now, them records are already going for like $28.
Mm-hmm.
And it had a sticker saying from the original master tapes on.
I'm not very familiar with Van Halen's discography, and I don't know if they're hard to find the original pressings of these Van Halen's.
I see them.
Then I don't understand. I don't understand it then, because if they were very hard to find or very expensive, I would like, okay, maybe it's a better option to get these One Step, but at $125
Did they announce a One Step for Van Halen? I didn't see that.
Yes, a bunch of them. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Didn't Walmart put out a box set?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just saw a Van Halen reissue at Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen it on Amazon, so that's why I'm surprised to hear that there's also.
But I don't know if those are cut from the all analog. I don't know about the box set, the Walmart, probably not. But still, there are so many reissues of these albums. So yet I don't. That's what I'm having a hard time understanding. all this when it comes to these one-step MoFi. I mean, why paying that much when you have
Okay.
issue?
It is,
Well,
I
you
don't
know, there's
go ahead.
no, I was gonna say just, you know, there's, I mean, we see and we talk about this all the time, you know, so this is just one example of, you know, oversaturating the market with several different types of releases of the same album. So yeah, you know, common sense, you know, logic dictates, oh, well, why do we need another one? You know, this was just reissued. Why do we need another one? Well, this is on a different format. You know, this isn't, you know, this one may be on 180 gram. This one may be a one step. So, you know, the audiophile collectors, the Van Halen collectors, they might want both. So it's like, so it's just oversaturating the market. So,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
you know how you want to spend your money. You know what you want to spend it on. You know what you don't want to spend on. I know if I see one is good enough for me. I won't need to have three different versions of it. So, but it's just an example of what's happening now with the vinyl boom. You know, there's just more ways of cashing in. So,
yeah.
My opinion, the original is always the better option. I mean, I would always go for the original pressing. Then that's just me, but I don't know. If the original pressing was still very available, I would go for the original press. A very good in good condition. I would go for that rather than buying, you know, a bunch of reissue for, you know, a bunch of money. That's just me though. I don't know. Like,
and depending on the year,
I don't know.
That original, 9 times out of 10 is analog, right?
Exactly. So if it was in the 70s, 80s, for sure it was analog, for sure, most probably. In the 90s, then you don't know. But for an album that was released in the 70s and the 80s, for sure it was all analog, for sure it was. For sure it was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you know,
I agree.
Yeah, I hear you.
I remember when I first started watching a lot of videos in the vinyl community. That's all before the one-step stuff and everything. I was always hearing people saying they want original copies. They want the original copy of this, the original copy of that. When something got reissued, they'll say, oh, this is a reissue. And he made it sound like having a reissue was such a nasty thing. You know, oh, this is a reissue, but I want an original. You know, and I found that out to be so funny. And that was going on before this whole one step. We got to have the one steps. You know, I'm talking about when I first started watching vinyl community videos, like probably about 10 years ago. Because I first stumbled onto it, Derek Higgins. I just happened to be scrolling, and I don't know what name he put you on, hit his thing, but I hit it. So he was talking about all these records and stuff like that. And then I end up stumbling onto, man, been so long since I seen daggone, what is his name? Secretary of Funk.
Okay.
Secretary of Funk. Yeah, he don't make videos like he used to, but stumbling onto him. Then I started stumbling on it. Then Scott Waters, he does all this rock and metal and stuff. I love him. And and he was always talking about, you know, this is a reissue. I'd rather have the original or whatever. But then, like I said, you know, to have a reissue at that time was like, oh, it's just a reissue. You know, like it was just a dirty word, reissue. You know, now they're pressing all this stuff and it's coming out.
Right.
Reissue. Then when you really think about it, isn't a one step a reissue?
Hey.
See?
Listen.
Isn't a one step nothing more but a reissue?
Basically, yeah.
So people contradicting themselves here. Everybody's contradicting themselves. You know, and I don't even think they see it. You know, I don't think they even know they contradicted themselves. Because when you really, really look at the broad picture of it, a one step is nothing more but a reissue.
Yeah, that's true.
But these same people always say, I'd rather have the original. Well, go find the original and quit paying $125 for a reissue.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, I guess some audiophiles made people believe that these one step were a better option than the original pressing because it was probably sounding better and whatnot. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's so many things when it comes to this MoFi topic, and like I said, once again, I'm not an audiophile, so I'm not that technical. I don't know all the technicalities of all this, but hey, I'm just, I just think that it's this company have been misleading people for many years now. And it's not about the sounding. Once again, it's about the lie and how much you're charging for your product. I mean, they could have charged at least $30 less than what they are charging now, which is, come on.
Well, from now on, who knows? They may have to. So
exactly.
We'll see how this plays out in the long run. We'll see what the long-term effects are for.
But like I said earlier, the people got the power. Will he use it? That's the question.
Yeah.
Will he use the power they got? Or do they even know they had the power to even bring the price down? Or will he just say, I don't care. We out here now, so we still just pay this money for it.
I really
even though we know you're lying to us.
I really hope they know. Because labels, they need to know that they cannot be out there be fooling consumers like that. They can't. So I really hope that people know that they are the ones who have the actual power of saying, you know what, I'm not gonna buy this. I prefer not buying this. I prefer not supporting labels that are doing this. So hey, I really hope so. I really, really hope so. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it will. I mean, it'll have some effect of exactly what effect it's going to have. Like I said, time will tell. We'll see how things play out with the one-step releases for the remainder of the year. And I'm sure, they'll start, if they haven't already, updating their product, updating their website, social media channels. So we'll see how they adjust the way they do business. So, but you see what's happened already, because of the pressure, they actually had to come out and say, well, this is the actual process. So that's step one. So, but, we'll see what happens after that.
Can you just imagine how many years they could have, keep on doing this if it wasn't for that, Thrillers release?
That's true.
See, it was greed that got him caught.
Yeah. So thank you, Michael Jackson.
All right, there you go.
Even from the grave.
Because
I'm the grave, he's coming. Even from the grave, Michael Jackson said, hey. See, and that goes to show you too. They knew that Thriller would be such a big seller that they got greed. They couldn't keep it at 2,000. They couldn't keep it at 3,500. They had to go forward. And then that's what brought up the questions. Say greed. It's a hell of a monster. And if you get caught, it exposes you. And
and that's what
we've been on this subject.
Last thing. That's what's disgusting about MoFi, in my opinion, is the fact that they made people believe. They played on that no limited quantities, limited edition, thinking that, our stuff is all analog, so we cannot do no crazy numbers. So they played people. It's not even funny how they played people. So hey, so glad it's finally out.
So it goes back. It goes back to Green.
Yeah.
Green got them busted.
Yeah.
Right.
40,000.
Yeah.
40,000. Okay.
With MoFi.
I got one last question to end this whole conversation on this, and I'm going to ask it for each one of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a choice, to have your favorite album, would you choose the original pressing in mint condition, cover and record, or the one step?
I would choose the original pressing all day.
Same question for you, Mikey.
Yeah, all day.
Same question, Mikey.
Well, first of all, an original pressing in mint condition, how can you pass that up? I think it's wonderful. So that's my thing now. Like before, where I was like, I've been finding some, like grail finds that, that I've either had in my collection that are trash or things that I've wanted. So I'm like, I'm done with BG. I'm done. I want sealed. I want mint, So I would love to have an original pressing, mint, whatever. I can't say if I would prefer a one-step at all, because like I said, I just don't know enough about it. I don't own one. Do I have the right equipment for something like that? I'd say at this point in time, I would stick with the original pressing. But I am curious. Let's just say I am one step curious. So, but yeah.
Okay. That's fair. Me, I'm such an old sea dog in this as far as buying records, collecting records. I would have to go with my original. Hands down. My favorite album, mint condition, cover in vinyl versus the one step. I would go to the original.
Now I'll make an exception. I'll make an exception for not counting one sets, but like reissues where there's something different to offer than the original. Like there's bonus tracks,
exactly,
different packaging, colored vinyl, things like that. In that case, it serves me to own both. Just as a collector, it's fun to have both. So if that reissue offers something new that the original didn't have, I'll take both. So, but
you had to put a little flavor in it, didn't you?
Yeah, because I love that.
I mean, flavor in it.
I encounter so many, like you said, there's so many reissue snobs out here. If I say, "Oh, I just bought the reissue," "Oh, I've got the original. I say, well, "Yeah, but your original's not hot pink, damn it." So that's what it is. So
I love it.
I've got the original. It still sounds just as good. I said, that's not the point.
I know how you feel, Mikey.
I love it.
I know.
Your original's not hot pink. I love that.
I said, what's wrong
with that? Oh my God.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to end that right there. Yeah. Your original's not hot pink. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, everybody, it's been a blast. And I hope we entertained the people that watched this video. It was just us just kind of throwing it out there.
We
put
did.
our 2 cents in to this whole debacle on this one step. I have fun talking to my girls like I always do. Miss LadySoul, the Big Yellow Rebel. It's been a blast. So with that said, what y'all want to say to our viewers?
Well, stay tuned for another episode of Let's Talk Records. I mean, we wanted to put our 2 cents on this hot topic. So hey, we're gonna be back with something more, of course.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. And then, we want to know what everybody thinks. Put your comments down there. What do you think about this? Everybody seems to have an opinion on the MoFi debacle. So I would love to hear what everybody is thinking about this, but put your comments down below because we want to hear it.
Oh, yeah. So that's going to end episode 4 of Let's Talk Records. I'm your man, DJ Funk, with Miss LadySoul, the Big Yellow Rebel. Love y'all. And hey, we out of here.
See you guys.
Bye.